Welcome to the second video of our three-part series of PvP guides. This one is about Allo. Now, I've been meaning to do this one for a while now, ever since the first PvP guide I did. That was almost a year ago, and it somehow has 1,000 views, and by far is my most popular video in the channel. So, and thing is, because it's 1 year old, it's outdated. Like, I put that thing out, before the Suko TLC. I think it was right after the Iguanodon TLC. Yeah. So yeah, very long ago. So this is going to be this is basically a revamping of the original Allo PvP guide. So yeah, hope you enjoy. The build for Allo is actually very simple. The only thing you can really customize is the bite. And I'm going to put this very simply. If you're fighting something that is smaller than you or similarly sized, like a Maip, a Dasp, a Picno, you go normal bite. If you're fighting anything that's larger than you, say a Torvo or an Apex, maybe even a Saurophaganax, if you're insane enough to do it, then you go Hatchet. Suko is the only 4 slot that you can get away with doing Bite. Is the only one. Anything else, you go Hatchet. Well, also Stego. You can also do well with Stego. And that is pretty much it for Allo. You can only change the bite, whereas for Maip, you had to change like 4 different things, and depending on what you are fighting. So it's just one mode or the other. So for all of these fights where we're dealing with this creature smaller than us, it's always the same strategy. Like, look at this, we're just chasing him for a bit. Then he's gonna do the joust. So what we have to do here, like, yeah, I'm just chasing it right now. Storako is really only the exception to this. Well, when I mean exception, I mean you have to change the strat a bit. You're basically just trying to trade with them. You don't want them to get any free hits on you. That is when they win. So I'm just constantly facing the Storako. When they go in for a joust, I bite. Normally, I would walk around in a tight circle, as shown in the patchy demonstration video. But Storako, you can't really do that, mainly because of that joust ability. And I think the same thing applies to Carno after the TLC. Just chasing him for a bit. There's gonna be a lot of just chasing. Oh, gotta dodge the Hadrosaurs. Now I'm stopping right here. Just, I want to conserve my stamina. It is going for a joust, that we trade. Those trades are important because the damage that we deal to each other is disproportionate. I deal more damage to them than they do to me. So it's basically those trades are advantageous for me. Oh, you missed it right there. And then going in, and boom, right there. That is how you win. So for Maip, what you want to do is get those tail hits. You want free hits, basically. Don't fall for the charge claws like I did. Up there. The charge claws are bad. They deal lots of damage, and it's only replicable with several bites from you. You see right there, I'm just trying to get some free hits. We are trading occasionally, but again, I'm looking for those free hits. I'm circling him. Oh, I don't want the charge claw. Gotta get him away. Damn, he got it. Yeah, see how I'm low? Oh, that's how you win. So we're going in against an Allo. It's very similar to Maip, but the thing is, it does more damage, so it's more taxing if you let them get more hits on you. And also, because it's same species, you do the same amount of damage to them as they do to you. So you really want those free hits. Oh, we got a free hit right there. And then I get some more there. And it's basically the one who gets the most free hits wins, and boom, right there. Right there. moving on to Torvo. I'll just say it. There's really not much you can do against the Torvo. It outweighs you. It does more damage. It's just not a promising fight for an Allo. It's not impossible. There's like one clip of here where I actually won against the Torvo, but it is disadvantageous for any Allo. And Torvo is really hard. And the thing is, what allowed Maip to beat a Torvo and not Allo is because of bleed. Maip can dish out lots more bleed than an Allo, even with Hatchet Bite. And I hope this gets fixed in the TLC. going up against a Pycno right here. What you want to do is really get some trades in. You deal more damage than the Pycno. There are some attacks that deal lots of damage, like that head slam right there. But he can use those often, and actually you can dodge some of them. Yeah, like that right there. So you can just keep on biting them, and yeah, right there. Boom. right here we're fighting a iguanodon. So Iggy hasn't really changed much from when I made the previous PvP guide on Allo. The strat's basically the same. Bait out the barrage and retaliate with a hatchet or a claw. And yeah, you gotta watch out for that behind, because they can have a tail and a kick. That kick deals lots of damage, so you gotta be wary of that. But it's basically just the same. And bait out the barrage. Yeah, don't avoid the kick. So yeah, we're just gonna do that a couple of times. Now, when too much damage is being dealt on you, and there should be periods where you just wait out the bleed. Just like circle them, and yeah, they're gonna try to chase you right there. And just let them bleed out. And like, have breaks in which you don't take any damage. And you still want to pressure them to make them like be alert and make them like maybe waste some of their abilities, but never unless you have a clear shot, don't try to go in. Oh, and what happened to Allo having bad heat and bleed? Well, differences between an Iggy and the Torvo, as you see right there, the Iggy is just turning in place. It's not really designed to chase you, unlike a Torvo. And even when the Iggy does start chasing you, you can just swat it away with the tail and you'll be fine. Torvo is less forgiving. You just like keep on pressuring it, don't actually start attacking. And yeah, once it starts chasing, swat it away. Yeah, basically just repeat that until the Iggy dies. Not all are gonna be like that, but most will. So yeah, keep pressuring him, boom. Just like that. fighting a Dasplito. The premise is, again, very similar to Maip. I'm pretty sure Dasp weighs more than a Maip, though I'm pretty sure. But the premise is similar. Dasp also has some heavy hitting abilities, just like that. So you want to go for those free hits and not really do trades, because those can be unforgiving. Yeah, especially for long periods. So yeah, just like go for the tail if you can't, and also go for headshots. Yeah, that's another tip I can give. Go for headshots for any similar size. And yeah, just like that. That's why I lost. I allowed him to get some heavy hits. Now we have a stego. Thing is about stego, the strat is very similar to an iguanodon, but the only difficulty is that stegos are more inclined to start chasing you than a Nikki. Like, as you see, there's going to be periods where he starts running at me and swinging that tail. But it's very similar. Fade out the tail and then counter with a hatchet. But don't be heedless, because those tails, they hit hard. So yeah, if they make contact with you, they're going to deal lots of damage. It only takes a few hits from them in order to kill you. So just be aware of that. And yeah, because their weapon is at the tail, you can tell when they start charging at you and then parry them with a tail, and you will be fine. So it's more forgiving to get them off your rear, but it's also more unforgiving since they deal a lot of damage. Yeah, you see, I was being a bit careless, and he got a hit on me. And yeah. This is the only clip I have of fighting a Lambia. They're actually pretty rare to find. So yeah, Lambia is gonna try to parry you with a tail. They also had that that knockback ability, the rodeo ability that deals lots of damage and knocks you back a lot. Yeah, just try to bait those out. Yeah, I got hit there. So basically just like pursue them a bit, get some hits on the tail. And if they stop, that's how you know they're trying to go for a rodeo. They can really only do a rodeo when they're stationary. Yeah, and when they're behind you, they start like trying to kick you. Just use your tail for that. If you find an opening, go for it. It's just a lot of patience. Trying to sort out what they're doing. Yep. And yeah, that's how you win. Finding a Unano. Yeah, you're done. Just like with Maip, Unano is also a death sentence for an Allo. It's just not possible. They deal so much damage. They can deal damage from both sides. And again, just like with Torvo, you can't really bleed them with an Allo because Allo's bleeding sucks. It faces the same problem as a Torvo. It's also more tankier and has more ways of dealing damage to you. Yeah, it's not possible. Remember how I said in the last video where I said that it's impossible for a Maip to beat a Miragaya? Well, for Allo, it's not impossible, it's just hard. Similar to Stego difficulty. You know, thinking about it, like, why is that? Miragaya doesn't have as much health as a Stego. Well, it's because of the effects. Paralysis, a toxin that basically, if you get to a certain health point, you just die instantly. Those are all factors that basically contribute to why Miragaya is so hard. You basically have to minimize the amount of times it hits you. And it doesn't even have to hit you. If you just hit it with, like, whatever, a hatchet bite or a claw, it also deals those effects. And it's dependent on how much damage is done. So you really have to rely on bleed. But as I said earlier with Torvo and Unano, if they keep on chasing you, then it's difficult to just hatchet and run away. You see, like, there's waiting. And yeah, they're gonna try to get behind you and then use those abilities. That barrage is also very infuriating. Also, another one is the one where he can do like a full 180 and deal damage behind. Yeah, just dancing around the Miragaya, waiting out the bleed, and boom. Last but not least, Suko. I said in the beginning Suko is the only 4 slot that you can get away with using normal bite. And that reason being is Suko's maneuverability. It cannot turn well, so you can just tail ride it until they slap you with a tail swipe. And really, that's all you have to do, because if you go for the front, they have a lot of abilities they can use to damage you. Yeah, like there's a bite barrage, a claw barrage, just many ways to deal damage to you. You don't really want to get in those trades. And yeah, boom. That's how I won right there. You are gonna lose. It's not a guarantee, but it's possible. And that ends the second part of our Ultimate PvP guide. You will know now how to play as an Allo. After almost a year, I can finally rest. The last part for this is Theri. Despite having lots of abilities, especially after its TLC, there's not really much you change about it. It's a lot like Allo, where there's some choices, but a lot of them are bad or just not worth it. So you really want to rely on 2 abilities, but that's enough spoilers. And as I said before in a previous post, I won't be posting as much Path of Titans content because there's been issues going on where I just keep on crashing. I will try to still post stuff, but there's gonna be less Path of Titans content. So yeah, that is it. See you all later.